In the next scene, we see Sabbat getting tossed around like a ball. Asuka used his sword to push Sabbat to the ground. Sabbat did his best to get up. Asuka asked Sabbat to get up immediately. He told Sabbat that he will not take pity on him just because he is lying on the ground. Sabbat could not believe what was happening to him. He could not accept the fact that a swordsman from the Rugal family was going to lose to a commoner. While Sabbat was struggling to get up, he noticed that his classmates were simply staring at him. Sabbat did not understand why his classmates did not call the instructor. When Sabbat looked into his classmates' eyes, he became terrified. Sabbat's classmates looked at Sabbat with disdain in their eyes. Sabbat could not comprehend why his classmates would look at him in such a way. He believed that Asuka was the one who deserved such a look. Sabbat picked up his sword and stood up. He took a stance and tried to get a hold of himself. Asuka did not understand what Sabbat was doing. Sabbat believed that his classmates would stop looking at him in such a way if Asuka disappears. He activated his vis and tried to attack Asuka. Asuka dodged the attack by jumping behind Sabbat. While he was behind Sabbat, Asuka activated his vis and used his sword to smack Sabbat's back. Sabbat screamed in pain. When Asuka landed on the ground, Sabbat fell on his knees. With a smile on his face, Asuka told Sabbat that he was the one who broke the rules first. He told Sabbat that his actions are allowed. Immediately Asuka said this, he rushed to attack Sabbat. He wanted to crush Sabbat's head with his sword. Upon seeing how dangerous the fight had become, Jerome asked Asuka to stop the fight. Unfortunately for him, Asuka did not listen. Before his sword could touch Sabbat, the instructor used his sword to change the direction of his attack. Asuka's sword crushed the ground. Asuka was shocked to see his instructor. The instructor told Asuka that the duel is over. He asked Sabbat to come to his office after getting his wound healed. He told Asuka to follow him immediately. Asuka did not understand why the instructor wanted him to follow him to the office. He told the instructor that Sabbat was the one who broke the rules first. He told his instructor that he would be in the clinic if Sabbat had landed his attack. The instructor told Asuka that his disrespect for his opponent is already a rule violation. He asked Asuka to stop making constant excuses for his actions. The instructor was angry with Asuka. He told Asuka that he does not understand why Instructor Patricia is always covering for him. Asuka became sad when he heard this. The instructor asked one of the students to take Sabbat to the nurse. He told Asuka that he does not need to behave like this after he went through a bad incident. Before the man could say more, Jerome interrupts him. The instructor told Jerome that he is trying to talk to Asuka. Jerome told his instructor that they need to stop Helmut and Aaron. The man and Asuka were surprised to hear this. The scene shifts and we are taken back to some days before the sparring classes. While standing in the hallway, Jerome asked Aaron to tell him why he did not stop Sabbat. He told Aaron that Sabbat's stupid plan would never work on Asuka. He told him that they will not be able to go scot-free after breaking the rules. Aaron asked Jerome if he is very close to Sabbat. Jerome did not understand what Aaron was talking about. Aaron asked Jerome to look around. He told him that Sabbat is over. Jerome was surprised to hear this. He asked Aaron to explain himself. Aaron told his friend that the only reason why Sabbat is escaping punishment is because no one has physical evidence of the crime he committed. He told him that everyone knows that Sabbat hired some people to hurt Asuka. Aaron told Jerome that it is a disgrace for a noble to use the Black Hawk even if it is for a commoner. He told him that most of the students of the swordsmanship department are nobles. This nobles did not see Sabbat's action as a smart one. Aaron told his friend that Sabbat has lost the favor he had. With a smile on his face, Aaron told Jerome that it will be better for them if Asuka beats Sabbat up and gets Sabbat kicked out of the academy. He told his friend that no one will interrogate them anymore if they do not have a leader. Jerome was shocked to hear this. He could not believe that Aaron had separate plans of his own. Aaron told his friend that he wants to crush Helmut himself. He told Jerome that it will be good for them if both Sabbat and Helmut get kicked out of the academy. He assured his friend that he would make Helmut crawl without using vis. Currently, we see Aaron wielding his sword with a smile on his face. Aaron hoped that Sabbat would not resent him for his plan. He believed that Sabbat would understand because it is how nobles have survived for generations. Helmut asked Aaron if he was the one who stole the books in his locker. Aaron told Helmut that nobody could do it other than him. Helmut felt silly for asking such a question. Helmut lowered his sword and took a stance. Aaron smiled when he saw Helmut's stance. He could not believe that Helmut would use a stance that would leave his defense full of holes. He wondered if Helmut was bluffing. He decided to attack Helmut with all his strength. Aaron decided to attack Helmut's legs first. Before Aaron could move, Helmut had already closed the gap between them. Eren was shocked to see this. He quickly swung his sword. Helmut and Eren swung their swords at the same time. Helmut used his sword to break Eren's sword. Eren did not understand what was going on. He was certain that he swung his sword. He did not understand why his sword was broken. While Eren was looking at his broken sword, Helmut used his sword to attack Eren's throat. Eren fell to the ground and began to scream in pain. Eren noticed that he could not breathe. He did his best to catch his breath. As Eren was choking on the ground, Helmut walked up to him. Helmut bent his knees and decided to ask Eren a similar question to the one which he asked him on the first day of class. With a terrifying look on his face, Helmut asked Eren if he believes that his noble status can save him outside of the academy. With a horrifying look on his face, Helmut told Eren that he could have snapped his neck with his current attack. He asked Eren if he can use his noble privileges in the afterlife. Eren became terrified when he heard this. As tears rushed down from his eyes, Eren realized that Helmut was not a normal human. As Eren stared into Helmut's eyes, he realized that Helmut was a monster that he should have not messed with. Helmut realized that Eren could not talk because of his vocal cord. He used his leg to crush Eren's hand. Eren tried to scream, but no sound came out of his mouth. As Helmut watched Eren suffer, his seed of darkness began to glow. Helmut picked up Jerome with a single hand and wanted to destroy his face with his sword. Before Helmut could do anything, the instructor and Jerome run into the training center. The instructor told Helmut that the duel is over. He asked Helmut to drop his sword. Helmut turned around and glared at the instructor when he heard his voice. The instructor and the other students stopped moving when they saw the aura around Helmut. While glaring at the instructor, Helmut regains his sanity. He noticed that he was holding Eren. He quickly let Eren go. While doing his best to catch his breath, Helmut looked at his instructor. The instructor was still shocked by the aura which Helmut had. He quickly regained his composure and asked Jerome to give Eren first aid. He told Jerome to take Eren to the nurse's office once he is done. The man asked Helmut to follow him to his office. The scene shifts and we are taken to the instructor's office. The instructor told the boys that he will give them a chance to create an excuse for their actions. He asked them to say whatever is on their minds. Helmut and Asuka kept quiet when they heard what the instructor said. The instructor told the boys that they are smart for not talking. He told them that they are not in the position to create an excuse. The instructor was not surprised to see that Asuka behaved in such a way. He told Helmut that he expected him to be better. Helmut told the instructor that he did not disobey any of the duel's rules. The instructor was surprised to hear this. He told Helmut that he checked Eren's condition before he came to the office. The instructor revealed to Helmut that there is a tear in Eren's windpipe and his right hand bones are shattered. With a look of anger on his face, the instructor told Helmut that Eren would have suffered respiratory distress if he had not received first aid. He told Helmut that Eren's vocal cord will be healed, but Eren might not be able to hold a sword in his right hand again. Asuka was annoyed to hear this. He did not understand why the instructor was scolding them. He told the instructor that Sabbat and his friend deserve what happened to them. He told the instructor that the boys tried to kill him by hiring the Black Hawk. The instructor smacked Asuka's head when he heard what he said. He told Asuka that he never asked for his response. He told Asuka that even though he did not break any of the dueling rules, he took his fight too far. Helmut told the instructor that he does not understand why he is being scolded. He told him that Eren was weak. He told him that Eren humiliated him and his friend even though he was weak. Asuka was shocked to hear that Helmut called him his friend. He agreed that Helmut was right. With a serious look on his face, Helmut told the instructor that he only made Eren understand his place. Asuka told the instructor that Sabbat and his friends picked their lockers and stole their textbooks. The instructor asked Helmut if he will use the duels as a means to cripple anyone he does not like in the future. He told Helmut that he does not deserve to attend the academy with such a mentality. He told Helmut that such a belief is against the ethics of the swordsmanship department. Helmut was annoyed to hear this. He asked the instructor if it is all right for nobles to steal, insult, and pick on commoners. The instructor told Helmut that he is not supporting anyone in the fight. Helmut believed that because the instructor stayed neutral, he was not able to solve any of the problems that the students had. Helmut told the instructor that he solved a problem he failed to provide a solution to. He asked the instructor if his attitude is not still fitting for the swordsmanship department. The instructor decided to shut Helmut up. He drew his sword and made a fast cut in the air. The instructor's attack cut through his ceiling. Helmut was shocked to see the attack. The instructor asked Helmut to stop deflecting the argument. He told Helmut that he simply used his strength to oppress the weak. He put his sword back into his sheath and asked Helmut if it would be fair for him to take him down as a price of his rebellion. The instructor told Helmut that nobles and commoners will always exist. He told him that strong people and weak people will always exist. The instructor told Helmut that a noble cannot despise commoners because of their nobility, and the strong should not trample on the weak. He told Helmut that his actions are no different from a noble who is looking down on a commoner. Helmut was shocked to hear this. Asuka could only watch as Helmut was being scolded. Helmut asked the instructor to tell him what would have been the best course of action. The instructor was surprised to hear this. He realized that Helmut was being sincere. The instructor turned around and told Helmut that he and the academy are to blame for the bullying. He apologized to Helmut for not helping him sooner. The instructor placed his sword down and told the boys that the academy does not aim for domination over others. He told them that the academy wants everyone to be equal. The instructor turned around and looked at the boys. He told them that nobles and commoners are equal. He told them that they will find their answers one day if they remember this logic. The instructor told the boys that regardless of what happened, they are still excellent students. He told them that he will forbid them from dueling as a punishment. He revealed to them that they can duel each other if they want. Asuka was happy to hear this. Helmut felt like he had gotten into another problem. The instructor stretched his hand out and gave Helmut and Asuka a bunch of paper. The boys were surprised to see the paper. With a look of anger on his face, the instructor asked the boys to tell him why they are surprised. He told them that the punishment cannot end with dueling restrictions. He asked them to write 50 apology letters. Helmut and Asuka were shocked to hear this. Asuka told the instructor that they still have class. The man told the boys to finish it before the theory class starts. He told them to come back immediately they are done. He asked Asuka to stop complaining because he was already giving them a light punishment. At night, we see Asuka looking at his swollen hand. Asuka realized that he could no longer feel his hand. Asuka could not believe that they finished the letters at nightfall. He called the man an evil instructor. Helmut also looked at his swollen hand in shock. Helmut did not feel bad for teaching Eren a lesson. He was more shocked with the fact that he lost his composure. He could not believe that he had not trained his body enough. Helmut could not believe that he actually lost his composure over such a small issue. Asuka noticed that Helmut looked confused. He asked Helmut if he is feeling down. He asked him if his hand is also hurting. Helmut told Asuka that he feels bad for not training today. Asuka was shocked to hear this. He told Helmut that he is quite relentless. He asked Helmut to tell him how he is still able to think of training after writing apology letters all day. Helmut told Asuka that he is quite good for the amount of time he trains. Asuka was annoyed to hear this. He told Helmut that he has never seen him training. He told Helmut that he is always locked in his private room, so he never sees anyone training. As the boys walked forward, Asuka asked Helmut if he could also use the private room. Helmut declined Asuka's request. Asuka reminded Helmut that he called him his friend. Helmut simply ignored Asuka. As the two boys walked forward, the instructor watched them from the window. The man noticed something odd about Helmut. The instructor knew that Helmut was a talented student, but he did not understand how Helmut was able to have such an aura when he was fighting Eren. The man believed that Helmut's aura was quite similar to demonic energy. The instructor quickly removes this idea from his head. He believed that Helmut was better than Asuka since Helmut actually listens well. He hoped that Helmut would keep learning without going astray. When the instructor looked around his office, he noticed that he destroyed the ceiling. The man realized that the cost of repairs was coming out of his paycheck. The scene shifts and we are taken to a building. Inside the building, we see the men who tried to kill Asuka. The men were kneeling. The men knelt down in front of Anton. Guys, we have come to the end of our video. If you guys want part 23 of this video, let me know in the comments section. Don't forget to like and smash that subscribe button for more recaps. See you guys later.